The story began on a sunny afternoon at Yan's home. Yan stood in front of his wife, Yuxu. She told him to take her brother out to buy a new car. Yan tried to catch his breath as he squeezed a paper. He told Yuxu that he was broke. Yuxu stood up, shocked with the news. She checked his pocket and told him he should have collected his parents' pension. Yuxu realized he was actually broke and slapped him. She thought Yan had hid his money. Yan smirked, telling Yuxu she only cared about money and not his lame. Yuxu grabbed a glass of water and threw it in his face. She wondered why a trash like him had the audacity to smile. Yan began tweaking. He yelled at Yuxu for using his money to buy a car and a house for her brother's wedding. He knew he made $100 million monthly, but wondered why her family tried to drain him. She called him a stingy, cold-blooded loser who didn't care for family. Yan smirked and told her he was done with family. Yuxu then told him he could kick the bucket for all she cared. Yan accepted her dare and told her he wasn't scared to do it. Yuxu told him to get life insurance first before ending his life. Yan smirked at her. He turned and ran towards the window. He jumped off the window, and as he fell, he wondered how his life became so Suddenly, Yan was kneeling down in a room. Yuxu's mother wondered why he knelt down. Shuan, Yuxu's brother, asked if it was his family tradition. Yan began to sweat as he tried to make sense of the situation, shocked to still be alive. Yuxu's mom wondered why Yan was acting crazy. Yan then called out to his mother-in-law. Yuxu's mom told him he had no right to call her that until he paid $1 million as bride price. At that moment, Yan realized he had been sent back in time to before he proposed to Yuxu. Yuxu's mom wondered why he was still hesitating. As he tried to stand, Yan then told her he had made up his mind. He realized in his last life he was a useless simp. Yuxu's mom was excited thinking he had agreed, but Yangmu rejected Yuxu. He wasn't willing to repeat the same mistake. Yuxu's mom was displeased with him and Yuxu was upset. Yan was Sigma and repeated himself just to make it clear. A few moments later, Yuxu couldn't believe she was rejected. Yan couldn't help but wonder if she was made of gold for her bride price to be worth $1 million. She claimed the bride price was a little token for being raised by her parents. Yan asked her what she had to offer him, being pro-gender equality. He asked if it was her loser brother, and Shuan got pissed. Yan told him he was nothing but a useless freeloader. Shuan was furious and tried to punch Yanwu, but he evaded it. Yan was able to pin Shua down, and Yuxu's mother wondered what he was doing to his family. Yan reminded her they weren't his family. He told Yuxu's family he had nothing to do with them. Yuxu asked Yanwu whether their relationship was not worth the bride price. He told her he didn't have a money tree. Yanwu then remembered in his last life, his dad passed out buying lottery tickets, hoping to pay for his bride price. He told her she needed a cash cow to milk, and he wasn't game. Later that day, Yan was at the lottery shop. He recalled that in his previous life, his dad was just a number away from winning the jackpot and later collapsed. Yanwu bought a ticket only to find his dad walking in. His dad wondered if he was on crack since he saw Yanwu for a moment. Yanwu hid in a corner as his dad went to buy tickets. His father prayed to win the jackpot so he could pay Yuxu's bride price. Just then, Yan vowed not to let his parents suffer. Suddenly, a system message popped up and congratulated him on being bound to the system. He was given a task to obtain $1 million asset along with a company within a day, or he would lose his life. Yan didn't understand what was going on. A while later, Yanwu had a curse mark on his palm and wondered if the system was joking about him having 21 hours to live. Suddenly, he heard a familiar voice. Yanwu realized it was Yao, his childhood friend. Yan bolted upstairs worried about her. In his last life, he and Yao were close and played together. A while later, Yao's mom was duped of $500,000 playing mahjong while Yao stayed in his house. He was busy simping Yuxu and later found out that they lost their lives to loan sharks. He claimed he was going to protect Yao this time. Meanwhile, Yao was held to the wall by a guy and told her that no one was coming to save her. Later that day, Yan punched the guys harassing Yao. Yao hugged him, crying, and he asked if she was all right. Blonde Hair wondered who hit him, and then his friend tried to punch Yan. Yan grabbed his fingers and mocked him for having trash skills. Blonde Hair took out his blade, but Yan then told them they wouldn't see a penny from him if they moved a step. They were shocked he had money since he looked like a broke loser. Blonde Hair told him the amount they needed and asked if he could still pay. Yan would then promised he would pay back in 3 days. Blonde hair also added payment for their assault and emotional damages. They told him if he couldn't bring the money, they had a job for Yao to cover the debt. Yan promised to bring the money, claiming they would have to kneel down and apologize to Yao. They told Yan what their boss would do to him if he didn't bring the money. Just then, he received a system message. He was told his life depended on survival point SP. He needed to complete a mission ASAP and would experience symptoms since his SP was low. Yan was worried, but then Yu felt bad he was in trouble because of her. Yan told her not to worry. Suddenly, his head was clouded, and he fell on Yo's plot. Yan blushed, realizing he just had a lucky accident, and apologized, but Yo didn't mind. Yan wondered if this was the symptom the system warned him about. Meanwhile, at Yuxu's household, Yuxu's mom told her daughter to call Yan, but he wasn't picking up. Yan's dad tried to slap Yuxu, blaming her for not being able to tame Yan, but her mom stopped him. She told him that Yan had acted strange. Yuxu's dad could also tell since he was always an obedient dog to Yuxu. He wondered if Yan got rich. Yuxu's dad grabbed his daughter and told her to meet Yan. Her mom also encouraged her to go. Yuxu couldn't help but think Yan had gone to buy something for her secretly. At Yan's place, he offered Yao some sliced apples. Suddenly, the doorbell rang and Yao went to get it. As she opened the door, she was surprised to see Yuxu. Yuxu stormed in, demanding an explanation. Yan wondered what she was doing in his house when he had already dumped her. She was surprised he was actually serious. Yuxu couldn't believe it and asked if he was going out with anyone. She asked if he changed his mind because of the bride price, but he was done repeating himself. Yan then advised her to leave her parents' house so she could know true freedom. As she was leaving, she told him he would regret his decision. Yo was shocked to see them distant, knowing how much Yan simped on Yuxu. Yan told Yao it was nothing and that he was going out. He began thinking of business opportunities available. A few moments later, at Changqing Street, a lot of people gathered at the lottery shop. He wondered if his dad was around. A while later, his dad prayed for the jackpot so he could help Yan. Yan covered his face with paper, not being suspicious. Soon after, he realized that the Fidelity real estate was a convenient business to invest in. In his past life, people weren't optimistic about Fidelity real estate, but it later became a huge success. Yan realized that if he took over the company, he would be as rich as Jeff Bezos. He realized this was his only shot of making money. The next morning, Yan was at the Fidelity real estate only to find a much larger crowd than expected. Suddenly, he got a system message, warning him about his low SP and was experiencing symptoms. Some workers passed by and Yo asked what was going on. The workers told Yo they went on strike because of their withheld wages. Yan wondered why they were making a fuss since it was normal. The employer revealed that the workers wanted a statement from their boss since the company became bankrupt. Yan asked if what they said was true and they assured him it was. Yan thanked them and walked away. Yan had an hour more to live but was confident he would survive. Workers gathered around a car asking to be paid their withheld salary. The owner of the company, Kong, and his bodyguard Bio were in the car. The bodyguard complained, but Kong wasn't interested in his childish whining. Suddenly, Yan knocked on their glass like he was after their soul. Later, Yan found a way into the car and the bodyguard wondered who he was. Yan introduced himself to Kong, but Bio grabbed Yan's shirt and told him to get lost. Yan told him if they didn't listen to what he had to say, Kong would end up getting backshots in jail.
Now pick up the salt. Pray, baby, pray.
Kong thought Yan was a worker and told him that he would get his wages. To his surprise, Yan offered to send him the money instead. Yan claimed he would make up for all his losses, but he would own the company. Kong figured he was bluffing since he was only missing his clown shoes. Yan tried to hurry the deal, but suddenly he got a system message warning him or he would lose his life. Kong told him he needed $50 million for the company and Yan was ready to pay. Kong got pissed at how cocky Yan was and told Bio to send him out. Bio grabbed his shirt, but Yan was able to defend himself. Kong realized Yan was not just an ordinary guy. He decided to hear him out. Kong told Yan he was in a pickle and didn't have time for games, but Yan assured him he could pay as soon as possible. Yan then told Kong he would also buy all his land. Kong doubted him, but he really needed to sell his lands. Yan asked if he looked like a clown, but his time was running out. They were shocked he wanted to buy the lands at such a high price, even though the price had crashed. Yan started to have a headache and Kong told him he would sell his land for 20 million bucks. The symptom was so bad he unlocked a new skill, being deaf. Yan couldn't hear them but figured out the amount he needed. Kong told Bio to prepare the papers and Yan had 10 seconds left. Yan's vision got blurry, but he was able to complete the transaction in time. Yan felt drained, but then he got a system message that he had completed the task and was awarded some SP. He got a system message that he needed 1 SP every day to survive, and the more SP he had, the better his physical condition. Suddenly, a brick was thrown at the window. After that incident, Bio was concerned for Kong and asked if he could call someone to chase the workers away. Kong became Yan's dog and asked what he had in mind. Yan told him to pay back the withheld salary. His body recovered but realized the 13 SP he had was only going to last him for 13 days. Kong then told Bio to announce that he would pay the workers later. Bio opened the top of the car and made the announcement. The workers were shocked they were going to receive their wages after half a year and decided to back off. Everything was settled and Kong told Bio to go to the company to show Yan the plans. A few moments later, they arrived at the Fidelity building. Kong showed Yan the planning books they had. Yan marked some areas they shouldn't build in. He showed Kong some land he should buy. Kong wondered why he wanted to buy some remote land since they had little value. Yan told him not to worry and follow his lead. Yan knew from his previous life new schools were developed in the area which made it valuable. Yan told Kong to build a shopping mall and other shops after buying the land. He told him the style to use and to get a quality construction team. Yan promised he would treat him well if he followed his instructions. Kong then reminded him of an investment reception happening later that night. Yan saw it as an opportunity to gather more SP and agreed to go. Later that night, at Qingping Hotel, Yan was at the reception. He heard Yuxi's voice and was surprised to see her. Yuxi was with an old man showcasing her melons. Yuxi was upset that she had to settle for the old man since Yan dumped her. The old man then dragged Yan closer. Yuxi was shocked to see Yan and couldn't look him in the eye. The old man wondered if Yan was her ex. Yan didn't expect her to flaunt her melons to an old man. The old man hit Yan and Yan asked what he was doing. The old man claimed he was blocking the road. He told Yan his broke didn't belong there, but Yan was focused on Yuxi's melons. The old man was pissed that he was trying to pick up his girl. Yan asked what Yuxi's relationship was with the old man, and she told him to back off. The old man walked away, telling Yan he could never score a chick like Yuxi. Yan had thought Yuxi was a kind girl, but he realized he was wrong.
She belongs to the streets.
He held his fist, knowing he had lost them jugs. Later that day, Yan arrived at the investment reception site and received a system message. He was given a task to invest in a business. He realized it was his chance to get several companies in his pocket. Yan tried to enter but was stopped by the guard. The guard asked if he knew where he was and Yan responded. He was treated like trash and told he didn't belong there. Yan claimed he was also looking for corporate investment. He was told no one dressed in the trashy cloth he had on. Yan wondered why he was being judged based on what he had on. Medong, the old man from before, arrived and wondered what Yan was doing there. The guard mocked Yan, claiming he had a pea brain. Medong found out Yan was trying to invest and advised him to make money to change his clothes. He told Yan that acting Sigma wasn't going to help. Medong told Yan that if he wanted a chick like Yuxi, he needed money which he could only dream of. Yan wanted to enter but was stopped by the guard. Medong noticed Kong and went to greet him. Yan asked if Yuxi was hoeing around for money. She told him it was none of his business. He asked if it was worth showcasing her melons. Yan turned around, pissed. Meanwhile, Medong congratulated Kong for finding a valuable owner and clearing his loss. Kong was grateful and asked Medong about his business, but he claimed it wasn't great. Medong asked Kong to introduce him to his valuable owner, but Kong couldn't help but notice Yan having a hard time with the guard. Kong excused himself and went over to Yan. Medong was shocked that Kong treated Yan like his boss. At the investment reception site, Yuxi was shocked that Kong treated Yan like his boss. Medong went over to Kong, wondering why he called Yan his boss. Kong revealed Yan was the owner of Fidelity Company. Medong asked if Yan was the one who bought the company and Kong confirmed it. Suddenly, Medong apologized to Yan for the way he had treated him, but Yan didn't care. Medong became desperate and asked to be Yan's obedient dog. Yan then told him to get lost since he wasn't looking for a fat dog. Medong was pissed that Yan acted high and mighty because he was rich and promised to deal with him. Kong suggested a company to invest in, but Yan rejected it. Just then, he realized a leading company of the internet in his previous life was there. Zhang, the founder of Nebula, gave his card and persuaded Yan to invest in his company. Kong told Yan not to invest since it wasn't a leading organization at the moment. Other investors felt it was pointless investing on the internet. Zhang explained that in the future, Nebula would play an important role in the market. The investors were persistent that only a fool would invest in the Nebula. Suddenly, Yan claimed he would invest $15 million in the Nebula company. Zhang was shocked and Yan told him he was optimistic with his company. Kong couldn't believe it, but Yan claimed he saw future potential in Nebula. Just then, Medong came to Yan. Kong told Medong to watch his mouth since they were affiliated. Medong then revealed that Kong had planned to default on the wages of his workers and run away. After hearing this, the investors felt Yan was probably a scammer since Kong was the same. Medong told Kong he made the wrong decision siding with Yan. Yan stopped Kong and asked Medong if he thought he was a scammer. Medong agreed since he had never come across a rich kid like him. Yan then suggested they make a bet and Medong was confident he would win. A while later, Yan told Medong that if he lost the bet, he would admit his mistake and slap himself, which was the same for him if he lost. Medong was confident that Yan couldn't have such an amount of money. Yan taunted him, but then Tong, the head of the Tong family, came to join the show. Medong was surprised to see Tong, and Yan recalled that the Tong family played a big role in the Nebula company in his past life. He decided it was best to be acquainted with him. Tong told Medong to go ahead with the bet, but Medong claimed they were playing around. Tong told him they couldn't end it like that since they made him entertained. Medong was left with no option but to carry on with the bet. Kong, still worried, tried to dissuade Yan from going through with the bet. Yushu advised Yan to leave so he wouldn't embarrass himself further because she believed he was broke. Medong grabbed Yushu and told her Yan was a loser that couldn't be relied on. Yan then brought out his card. He explained to Zhang that it wouldn't be right if he cheated him and was ready to transfer the money immediately. Zhang was delighted and felt Yan was trustworthy. Suddenly, Medong grabbed his card claiming it was a fraud. Medong pointed out that an ordinary card couldn't possibly handle a transaction of $15 million. The investors around agreed that he had to have a VIP card to do so. Yan collected his card and told them to wait and find out. He tried his card on the machine and he had insufficient balance. Medong burst into laughter, relishing in Yan's humiliation. Yan stood there stunned as Zhang's trust began to waver. Medong demanded that Yan kneel and apologize since he had lost the bet. Tong agreed with Medong, but Kong intervened, suggesting that the issue might be with the bank. Kong called for a bank professional to come and sort things out. Medong became impatient and called the guards. Yan told Medong to wait for the bank staff to come if he had the balls. Medong didn't care what he had to say and told the guards to surround Yan. He told Yan to kneel and apologize or the guards would attack, but Yan wasn't falling for that. Medong told the guards to force him to do it, and Bio came to protect Yan. Yan then blitzed around the guards, shocking everyone. At the investment reception site, Yan was able to take out the guards, but Medong still called him trash. Yushu was stunned that Yan was a good fighter. Tan couldn't believe Yan was able to take out the guards in the blink of an eye. Just then, the bank staff arrived, and Tan was alright with them verifying Yan's bank card. Medong then agreed to wait, but was ready to whoop his butt if there was no issue. The bank staff checked, and Yan had zero balance. Yan was asked if he had carried out a $50 million transaction. Yan admitted that he had, and the bank staff explained that his card might have been temporarily frozen because of it. Medong couldn't believe it. Yan was ready to carry out the transaction, but Medong still wasn't buying Yan's bull. The bank staff showed his business card to Medong, and he was being doubted. Yan was given his card and told to upgrade it later. Medong started whining like a baby, claiming he could only win the bet once he carried out the transfer. Yan then carried his card and made the transfer. Kong asked if Medong was finally satisfied. Medong began sweating bullets, claiming he had been set up. Tong, having had enough, kicked Medong and reminded him of the terms. Medong slapped himself 3 times and apologized. Yan told him he also needed to come clean about fidelity. Medong then revealed he was jealous that the Fidelity Company had a valuable owner. Medong stood up and vowed to bury Yan in the dirt. Zhang thanked Yan for investing in Nebula. Yan expressed his gratitude to Tong for helping him out and promised to return the favor in the future. Yuxu couldn't believe Yan had made it big. She couldn't help but feel bitter about her own situation, which she blamed on Yan. A while back, Yuxu was told about Maidong, and her brother revealed that Maidong would be at an investment meeting that night. Yuxu was reluctant to go, but her parents pressured her. Later, Yuxu left the investment meeting and Tong handed his business card to Yan. Yan received a system message, congratulating him on completing his mission, but Yan found out 10% of his SP would go to the system. Suddenly, Bio got a call and reported that the workers were causing trouble. Later that night, Kong wondered what the fuss was about, given that the workers had been paid their overdue salaries. Biao revealed that the workers were still anxious, that a change in ownership might mean no work in the future. Kong turned to Yan, asking for his thoughts on the matter, and Yan suggested they head back to the company. Yan excused himself from Zhang and Tong. Meanwhile, back at Fidelity, a large group of workers had gathered at the entrance, demanding answers. One of the workers shoved Blondie, and he fell to the floor. Blondie stood up with a blade in his hand and stabbed the worker. A while later, Yan and the others arrived at the scene, shocked by the chaos. The guards were furious that the workers dared to cause trouble despite getting paid. The stabbed worker was in intense pain when suddenly Kong found him. Kong asked who the culprit was, and the guards claimed they did it to bring order. Yan asked if they had called the ambulance, but a worker told him that the injured worker wouldn't make it before they arrived. The worker told Yan that the workers were worried they would be unemployed and his daughter was still undergoing surgery. The sad man's life reminded Yan of his dad. Suddenly, the injured worker wasn't breathing. Kong told Bio to tie up the guards. The guards tried to justify themselves, but Bio's fist had an appointment with their face. Meanwhile, Yan got a system message informing him that the worker was still alive. He asked the system if there was a way to save the man. Yan checked the system store and couldn't find any useful item. He asked the system if there was another way. The system told him he could extend the person's life by a few minutes, but it would cost him 12 SP. Yan made the call, and the worker suddenly began breathing again. Just then, Bio finished tying up the guards and brought them to Kong. The guards explained that they did what they did for the good of the company. Before they could elaborate, they spotted Yan approaching and were stunned. That night, the guard asked Yan if he was there to beg for money. Kong was confused by this, so Yan suggested he ask them what they meant. Bio stomped on Blondie's leg to get answers. Blondie revealed that Yan's aunt owed them $500,000. They suggested they could sell this chick on the black market to settle the debt. Kong was furious, realizing that they turned his company into a black S club. He explained to Yan that Maidong had hired Blondie and friends, thinking they could help save the company. He was unaware of the activities they were involved in. Kong told him they had no debt since he had acquired the company. Yan kicked Blondie. The workers were glad Blondie and his friends were having a taste of karma. Finally, the ambulance arrived and took the injured worker away. Kong asked the way forward, and Yan told him they would resettle the workers. The workers asked if their wages would be withheld if they stayed, and Yan assured them that it wouldn't happen again. Yan recalled in his last life, his dad broke his leg and wasn't compensated since he had no contract. The workers were relieved but still cautious, hoping Yan wasn't making empty promises. Bio was shocked with the promises he made with the workers, but Kong claimed he was their savior. Bio saw Yan as a spoiled rich brat and didn't acknowledge him. Bio then asked what they would do with Blondie and friends. Yan told Kong the company should pay for the medical bill of the injured worker, and Kong told him he would take care of it. Yan decided to go home himself, even though Kong suggested Bio would drive him. Kong told Bio that Yan was the honored one and he would soon acknowledge him. Later that night, Yan finally arrived home, wondering if his parents had returned. Suddenly, his door opened and Yeo greeted him, asking why he was so late. He told her it was because of work, and she wondered if it was because of Yuchu. Yan assured her it wasn't and promised to take her out the next day. His goal was to fulfill her wish of living in a big house. She wanted to know where they were going, and he told her to wait till the next day. He decided to call it a night, and Yeo found his recent behavior a bit mysterious. That night, Yan lay on his bed, feeling uneasy as he reflected on how much the system controlled his life. Suddenly, he got a system message that he would be taken to a system space. His room began to spiral around him, and before he knew it, he was floating high in the sky. A new message appeared, asking if he was ready to receive an inheritance. He looked down and saw his sad, useless self from his past life. The system explained that the inheritance was necessary because his rebirth had triggered a collapse in space-time. Yan realized how serious the situation was and the system passed on the inheritance. In a flash, a beam of energy struck Yan, causing a numbing sensation in his body. He was just realizing that the system had saved his life. A few moments later, he opened his eyes to find another system message awaiting him. He glanced at the message and was startled to see that the inheritance progress was only at 1%. Yan realized the system was a fraud and decided to figure things out himself. Meanwhile, outside Yan's room, Yo stood with a plate of sliced apples, concerned about Yan. His door opened and Yo thought maybe he had forgotten his promise to take her out. Yan reassured her and told her to freshen up so they could leave. A while later, Yan and Yao strolled through the streets. Yao spotted Yuxu entering a hotel with Medong. She had a bad feeling about it, but Yan didn't care. They arrived at the house sales department, and Yao was curious to know what happened between him and Yuxu. Yan dodged the question, and they met a sales lady. Yan told her he wanted to see the villa, but she directed him to the cheaper houses since he looked broke. The sales lady joined in to bash at Yan. Fai spat and asked the sales lady to call the guards. Suddenly, a bank staff brought a gold bank card for Yan. The housing manager, Yang, arrived and wondered what was going on. Ajin, the sales lady, claimed Yan was causing a scene with his broke. He brought out his card and the manager was shocked. She bowed and told Yan she was at his service while Ajin was left dumbfounded. Manager Yang apologized for Ajin's ignorance. They asked Manager Yang why she was giving Yan respect instead of him. Later that day, Manager Yang asked if Fee knew about the gold card Yan had. Fee claimed it was a useless card until he got a glance of it. He asked how Yan was in possession of an SVIP card. Meanwhile, Yan recalled in his past life that there were 2 villas that soared in price after a few years. He told Manager Yang he wanted to buy the 2 villas and was told it was worth 20 million bucks. He dropped his card and Yao was shocked. Azin collected the card and Yan told her to screw off. Manager Yang told her he would handle the transaction and not to bother coming to work again. They began to act mushy towards Yan like they were pals. Just then, the guards arrived and took Fei away. Fei asked what Yan was doing and he told him it was an Uno reverse card. Fei apologized but was taken out. Yan asked the system if he could check others' luck. He got a system prompt telling him he could and Yan realized how great the skill was. He glanced at Fei, warning him about his misfortune. Fee got pissed and told him to screw off. Meanwhile, Ajin apologized to Manager Yang and pleaded for another chance. Manager Yang told her to go get her salary since she was done. She knelt down begging Manager Yang not to fire her since she was the sole caretaker for her sick dad. Yo felt sad for her and Yan requested Manager Yang to give her another chance. Manager Yang decided to give her another chance. Yan glanced at Yao and noticed she had good fortune. Some old women around were moved by his kind gesture and wanted to introduce him to their daughters. Yan grabbed Yao and told them she was his girlfriend. Yao blushed and he wondered if she was okay since her face was red. Suddenly, he got a message from Yuju. Yan glanced at his phone and Yao, noticing his troubled expression, asked if something was wrong. He got a text and found out it was Yuju crying for help. He wondered if she didn't go to the hotel with Maidong voluntarily. Yo, knowing Yan and Yuxi weren't on good terms, still urged him to help her. Despite his hesitation, Yo insisted, promising to wait for him until he returned. Reluctantly, Yan set off for Yuchu's location. Meanwhile, at the hotel, Maidong had his towel on and was ready for the deed. Yuxu told him to stay away, but Maidong was persistent. He reminded her that her family was the one who set her up with him, and wondered why she was acting innocent. As he forcefully tore her clothes, Yuxu begged him to stop. Just then, the door creaked open and Maidong was startled, wondering who had entered. Yan caught Maidong in 4K and made Maidong aware. Maidong tried to snatch the phone, but Yan kicked him and put him on his fours. Maidong complained and Yan continued with the beat down. Maidong told him he could never get a chick like Yuxu with his trashy look. Yan continued to beat him and he begged for mercy. Suddenly, Yuxu told him her body was getting hot and he realized she had been drugged. He carried her to the bathroom and put her in the bathtub filled with water. After making sure she was safe, Yan walked out. Maidong was angry that Yan foiled his plan but wondered how many times he could save her. Yan kicked him in the butt and wondered why he was leaving so soon. In the hotel, Maidong wanted justice since he didn't touch Yuxu, but got beaten. Yan told him he could leave if he wanted but reminded him about the surveillance cameras in the hotel. Maedong asked what he wanted, and Yan asked him to pay for his silence. Maedong yelled, thinking Yan and Yuchu were working together to screw him. Yan wasn't bothered, since it wasn't his junk that would go viral. Maedong scoffed, telling him the hotel wouldn't give his broke the surveillance footage. Yan brought out the card of the hotel manager to show he wasn't bluffing. Yan asked him what he was going to do. Glad manager Yang helped him with the card. Maedong was ready to pay, knowing he would be screwed if the footage got out. Yan asked for 40 million bucks while Yuche was taking a shower. Maedong told him he couldn't give that amount and Yan settled for 30 million bucks instead. Suddenly, Yuxu came out and Yan told Maedong to leave. Yuxu thanked Yan for saving her. Seeing as she was alright, he decided to leave. Yuxu grabbed his hand and asked if he really invested 15 million bucks in Nebula. He told her he did, and she asked where he stole the money. Yan realized she was after his money and decided to ditch her. Later at the housing sales department, Yo asked Yan if he had managed to save Yuxu, and he confirmed it. Yan thanked manager Yang for her assistance, and she humbly bowed, acknowledging it was part of her duties. Yan patted Yao on the head and asked if she had been worried. Yan handed his card to manager Yang and was ready to make the payments. Meanwhile, at Maedong's office, Blondie and friends were tending to Maedong's injuries. They asked what happened and he told them it was Yan. Blondie and friends were frustrated with Yan's constant interference. However, Maedong assured them not to worry, revealing he had a plan involving the Yushu family. Later that night, at Yushu's house, Yushu's dad wondered why she wasn't back. Yushu's mom replied that they must have done the deed since no one could resist Yushu's melons. Just then, Yushu walked in, and her mom immediately asked if she'd struck a deal with Maedong. She told her she didn't, revealing she had been drugged and taken to a hotel, but was saved by Yan. Her father was angry that Yan interrupted them, and her mom realized they needed him as a son-in-law. Yuxu's mom told her she needed to win him over. Meanwhile, at an internet cafe, Shuwan was playing games when Blondie and friends approached him, referring to him as a pro gamer. They challenged him to a match, with Blondie suggesting a bet to make things interesting. A few hours later, Shuwan was surprised that he lost miserably. When Shuwan tried to walk away, they reminded him about the bet. Shuwan pushed them away since he was having a bad day. Blondie and his friends retaliated with a few solid punches. Back at Yan's house, he was perplexed to see he had only 13 SP left. The system revealed that it had been taking his SP required for the system upgrade. Yan discovered the upgrade was triggered by his thoughts, and he pondered what that could mean. Suddenly, he got a call from Yuxu. When he answered, Yuxu's mom was on the line. Yan wondered what she wanted. She reminded him of his past intention to marry Yuxu and gave him 2 conditions. The first condition was that he would hand over his bank card. The second was that he would solve whatever problem the Yuxu family had. Yan, after hearing her ridiculous demands, told her to piss off. The next day at the house sales department, Yan was handed the documents for the houses he bought. Yao, noticing he was stalling, asked why he was leaving manager Yang hanging. He came back to his senses and collected the document. Manager Yang reminded him to review the documents if he wanted. Yan thanked Manager Yang for everything and bid her farewell. A while later, Yan and Yao were strolling through the streets. They spotted Yuxu looking around for Yan. Yan asked what she wanted, wondering why her family couldn't take a hint. Yuxu revealed that her brother had been kidnapped and told to pay a ransom of 500,000 bucks. Yan told her it was not his business. Yuxu grabbed his hand and told him they could go to a hotel so he could have full access to her melons. He pushed her away, telling her if he liked her before when she wasn't a slut.
He belongs to the streets.
Yuxu cried and told him they didn't have the money to pay the ransom. Yan was angry, but then he told her he would help only if her family left him alone. Yuxu hesitated and admitted she couldn't do that, so he walked away. Yo asked if he was serious about not helping. She told him recently he had been acting like a cold-hearted person. She asked if he really broke up with her. Yan paused, wondering if Yuxu was really in a tight spot. After a moment's thought, he told Yao to head home, explaining he was going to the internet cafe. At the internet cafe, Shuwan was cornered by Blondie and friends. He told them they had set him up. They wondered how he just realized that and threatened him for messing with Maedong. Meanwhile, at the entrance of the internet cafe, Yan arrived but was told to leave. He punched the guy and noticed Shuwan in a corner. Blondie and friends were shocked to see him. Yan was holding a red pill ready to face the threat. In the game cafe, Yan took the red pill and his stats skyrocketed, making him ready to deal with Blondie and friends. Shuan realized that Yusi must have sent Yan, while Blondie remembered Yan owed them money. Yan asked why he would give them money, and Shua started ranting like a brat. Yan had an aura, then he shoved Blondie onto a table. Blondie's friends surrounded Yan and Blondie took out his phone to call Maedong for backup. Within seconds, Yan beat them to a pulp. Shuan couldn't believe Yan became a good fighter. Realizing he didn't need to pay the ransom, he thought he could get the money from Yan. Shuan told Yan he would tell his mother if he left him to suffer. He asked Yan to give him the ransom money if he wanted him to keep quiet. Yan realized Shua was a bigger clown than he thought. Shua threatened Yan that he would tell his sister to find another man. Yan slapped him and told him he could do whatever he liked. Just then, Maedong stormed in with his lackeys. Maedong ordered them to beat him till his last breath. They charged and Yan realized he was outnumbered. At that moment, the system provided him with an agility pill which he took instantly. He was able to dodge their attacks with ease. Maedong watched in disbelief as Yan moved like Flash. In the blink of an eye, Yan appeared behind Maedong, who almost peed his pants. Maedong saw his men piled up like trash. Yan kicked him to the floor and planted his foot on his face. He asked Maedong why he was trying to take his life. A few moments later, Maedong told Yan he wanted to get back at him. Yan understood where he was coming from but continued to twist his arm. Yan told Maedong to pay up for wasting his time. Maedong told him he would pay 20 million bucks and begged for mercy. Yan suggested he transfer the money from a bank nearby. After a brief wait, Yan received the 50 million bucks. He released Maedong, who scrambled up, promising he'd reclaim the money sooner or later. Yan turned to Shuan, telling him to head home. Shua told him he wouldn't forget the pain he caused him. Yan wondered if that was the way to treat his savior. Shuan told him it was his fault for messing with Maedong in the first place, and Yan got pissed. Shua ran and threatened to tell his parents everything that happened. Yan was glad he was gone and checked the system. He was shocked there was no change in SPA after getting 50 million bucks. He received a system message explaining that only income from property sources counted. Yan felt scanned by the system. He got another message telling him he would get a lot of benefits once the system upgrade was done. Yan got furious, wondering what benefits the system would give. Meanwhile, at Yusu's house, her mom gave her an earful for not being able to tame Yan. Yusu had told her mom he had given up on her. Suddenly, Shua burst in and their mom rushed to greet him, worried about his beat-up appearance. She asked what happened, and the drama queen pinned it on Yuxu for calling Yan to embarrass him. Yuxu was shocked that Yan had saved him. He showed his mom the wound that Yan inflicted on him. Shuan slapped his mom's hand and told Yuxu that Yan got his money from Maedong. Yuxu's mom demanded to know if she knew about it. She then remembered Yan mentioning something about 30 million bucks at the hotel. Her mom told her Yan was worse than an animal for using her to make money. Yuxu, determined to clear things up, decided to confront Yan. Later that night, Yan and Yao were having a meal at a restaurant. Yao, noticing Yan's expression, asked what was wrong and wondered if he was being bullied. He told her he was fine and encouraged her to eat. Yao told him if there was anything she could do to help. She was there for him. Suddenly, Yuxu showed up. She demanded to know his plans. Yao then asked if she wanted to join them for dinner. Yan told Yao not to worry and asked Yuxu what she wanted. She told him he beat up Shuan and he was here enjoying dinner with another woman. Yan told her he doesn't have that kind of relationship with Yao. She didn't believe him but asked why he beat Shuan. She wondered if it was because she used him that he took revenge on her brother. Yan could tell she had a loose screw. She accused him of having only blackmail money. Yan didn't care what she thought and told her he wasn't sending a dime to her family. Yo wondered what was going on between them. Yuxu warned Yao that Yan wasn't a good person but a player. Yan was fed up and asked her if she thought he was still a simp for her. He told her not to request anything from him. Yuxu asked if he had been using her all along and Yan realized she was crazy. She tried to slap him, but he stopped her, letting her know they were done. She pulled away her hand and told him he would regret it. Yo told Yan to go after Yuxu, but he decided not to and apologized for the drama. He told Yo not to worry since Yuxu had changed. Yao wondered why Yuxu treated Yan the way she did. He told her to finish her food so they could go home. The next day at Nebula, Zhang thanked Yan for his investment. Yan checked the profit they made and was glad. At Nebula, Yan was reviewing the documents when he noticed they didn't have a special material supplier. Zhang told him their suppliers weren't making profit, so they refused to cooperate. Yan realized it was a mistake on his part. Zhang told him they were still in the test phase, so the materials weren't important. Yan suggested he could send the routers to the communication centers. Zhang wondered why he never thought of that. He then remembered they didn't have the materials yet. Yan told him that he would handle it. Later that day, while strolling down the street, Yan realized he had to make the Tong family cooperate with Nebula. Suddenly, he spotted someone dragging a girl in a maid uniform. He realized that it was Ajin and wondered why she was working at a bar. Some people tried to intervene but were quickly shut down. Yan then grabbed the aggressor's hand and he claimed she was Medong's woman. Yan was tired of hearing that name and told him he was Medong's daddy. He twisted the aggressor's arm and he screamed in pain and yielded. He released him and told him to get lost. Ajin thanked him for saving her. He asked why she was working at the bar, and she explained that she needed more money for her dad's surgery. He then asked about her relationship with Medong. She revealed that Medong had offered to help her dad, but she rejected it, and he had been pestering her ever since. Yan assured her safety and suggested she could go back inside. Ajin thanked him and returned to the bar. Yan took out his phone and called Bio, and told him to keep an eye on Medong. Meanwhile, at the hospital, Medong and Yuxi were plotting together. Medong's arrangement at the bar was a success, and she was glad Yan fell for her trap. Medong wondered what would happen to him if her plan failed, and she told him to stop bitching. She was confident Yan would run back to her if she apologized since he was a simp. A while later, Yuxu called Yan and invited him out for a meal. She wanted to apologize for how she had left off. She told him they should meet later that night, while Medong was ogling at her. Yuxu told him she had set everything up and left Ajin to him. She then grabbed some medicine. She requested 30 million bucks for setting up Yan. Meanwhile, at Yan's house, he knew it was a setup. He asked the system how many SP he needed to complete the system upgrade. The system showed him he needed 20 SP. He asked how much could be exchanged for 20 SP, and he was told 20 million bucks. Yan ignored it and decided to allow it to upgrade smoothly. Yan made a call to Kong and told him to gather information for him. Later that night, at the restaurant, Yan met up with Yuzu. She ordered all his favorite food and asked to have a drink with her. Suddenly, the system warned him about the sleeping pills in his drink, though he had resistance to it. Yan realized there was no saving Yuzu anymore. She became worried that he didn't take his drink. He took the drink, and she told him to forget about the past. She wondered how their life would have been if they had married. Yan replied that her family would have drained him of his money. Yuxi was surprised the drug hadn't kicked in yet. He asked what was wrong, and she told him she had only one poor brother. Yan asked if he had any source of money, and she claimed he deserved to be spoiled. She got scared since Medong had said the drug would kick in immediately. Suddenly, Yan passed out, and she asked if he was okay. She was glad, telling him all the money he made from Medong would be hers. The next day at the hotel, Yan was asleep and finally woke up. A few moments later, Ashen slapped Yan. He held his face, recalling he had dinner with Yuxu, and wondered what happened. She told him he had texted her and had his way with her. She ran away crying. Yan smirked since his plan was in place. Meanwhile, at the coffee shop, Ashen came to meet Medong and Yuxi. She told them she had taken the photos they requested. Yuxu told her she could go and would call her when needed. She told Ashen that the photos had to be saved or there would be a problem. Yuxu told her she would end her father's life if there was a mistake. Medong realized why Yan was a simp to Yuxi. She claimed she was only taking back what was hers. Medong told her the 30 million bucks was worth it. She told him they should head out. Yuxi was glad Yan would have a taste of being used. A while later, at the hotel lobby, Medong and Yuxu approached Yan. They informed him of his crime and wanted justice. Yan claimed he didn't do anything wrong. Yuxu revealed that he had called another lady to the hotel when they had dinner. Medong told him he had called the cops on him. Medong was glad that the reporters were around since Yan was cooked. Yan told them he wasn't a fool. Medong noticed that the reporters were taking shots of her and Medong instead of Yan. Yan told Medong to chill as he was about to make a phone call. Ashen was on the phone and revealed she had posted the footage of Medong and Yuxu threatening her. Medong couldn't understand what was going on. The reporters began to ask some controversial questions, and Medong debunked them. They asked if he had evidence to back it up, and he began to sweat. Meanwhile, the system told Yan that Medong Company had gone bankrupt and would be auctioned. A while back, Yan had met up with Ashen, and she told him Medong threatened her life. Yan was glad he had enough evidence to send Maedong behind bars and asked if she was going to help. Later, Yan was glad to take over Maedong's company. Yuxu was angry and a black flame came out of her forehead. 2 days later, Yo was watching the TV. She saw Maedong and Yuxu on the news and was shocked Yuxu wasn't a good girl.
She belongs to the street.
Meanwhile, in Yan's room, he wondered why he wasn't given SP after taking ownership of Maedong's company. Yan felt the system was always cheating him. Suddenly, the system finished its upgrade. There was a bright light, and just then, a rabbit appeared. He asked if it was the upgraded entity and grabbed it. A while later, it disappeared. Suddenly, a woman appeared on his bed and held him down. She told Yan to give her a 5-star review when she was done satisfying. Just then, he heard Yo's voice and told her not to come in. She opened the door, wanting to reveal what Yuxu had done. After a few moments, she realized Yan was with a chick and her brain got short-circuited. Yan told the rabbit girl to get up, and she wondered why he was being so harsh. Yan placed Yao on his bed since she had fainted from the shock. Rabbit girl went over to Yao and touched her head. Yao woke up and asked who she was. She revealed herself as Yan's system. Yao's brain couldn't handle the information and wondered if she was dreaming. Meanwhile, at Yuxu's house, her mom congratulated her for coming up with the bride price for Shuwan. Shuwan was on with his nonsense as he was immersed in his game. Their dad told her not to worry about Maedong since he was going to jail. He revealed that she needed to find a rich husband to help them out in the long term. She was pissed and a black flame came out from her forehead. The black flame then told her to make a deal with him. Later that day, the black flame heard her request and told her he could grant her wish. She wondered how a god would be standing in front of her and thought she was hallucinating. The black entity grabbed her on the chin and told her to make a deal with him. She reminded her that Yan had used her and abandoned her like trash. He told her to sign a contract so she could get a revenge. Yuxu then gladly accepted him. Suddenly, Shuwan asked what her plan was for the family. She glared at him and Shuwan continued being an annoying brat. Her mom apologized for Shuwan's behavior. Yuxu then asked her for information about her boss and she was shocked Yuxu found out. Meanwhile, at Yan's house, Yan told Yao about everything that had happened to him. She was surprised he could time travel and Rabbit Girl explained that it came at a cost. She told Yao that he had become the balance between time and space. Yan announced that he was going out and Rabbit Girl wanted to know where. He revealed that he had an appointment with Tong regarding a car. Rabbit Girl kissed Yao on the cheeks and she passed out. Yan grabbed her and asked what she did. She told him she modified Yo's memory to keep her safe. Suddenly, he got a system message that he had used 1 SP. Yan's hand started to feel numb, and he wondered if it was because the system materialized itself. She told him that the system had some bugs which made him angry. Rabbit Girl told him she wanted to go see his new car, but he told her to stay. She told him that if he was far away from her, she would appear out of nowhere. Yan realized what would happen and decided to take her. Suddenly, she realized that seeds had started appearing. Later that day, Yan was at the meeting point and wondered why Rabbit Girl was distracted. She told him that it wasn't important and wondered what pills she could give him. Yan told her he didn't need pills against normal humans. Rabbit Girl asked if she could use a pill if a superhuman appeared and he agreed. Tang arrived and apologized for being late. Tang's companion grabbed Tan and Yan asked who he was. Yan wondered how Luo, who sold fake wine, got together with the Tang family. Tang took Luo's hands off himself and introduced him to Yan. Luo asked why Yan was acting cocky when he came to cooperate with them. Tang had told Yan not to come, but he still did. Yan greeted Luo and told him he had thought he was Tang's driver. Luo threatened to pull out Yan's eyes, but Yan shook him, wondering why he was embarrassing himself. A black aura then came off Luo and Rabbit Girl realized he was sucking Yan's luck. She grabbed him and told him she wanted to see his car. Tang then decided to take Yan with him. Luo was angry they were walking away from him, and Tang told him to go back to his town. Luo then asked him if it was a good idea to drive him away and threatened to end his family. Yan whispered to Luo about his fake wine business, and he wondered how he knew. Yan told him to come clean while Tan took him to see the cars. Luo then promised to end Yan. Later that night, Yan thanked Tang for his help with the car. Tang told Yan to be careful of Luo since his rivals usually end up disappearing. Yan thanked him for looking out, and Tang told him he would consider cooperating with Nebula. Rabbit Girl decided to reveal something important to Yan. Later that night, Rabbit Girl informed him that seeds had infiltrated the world. Yan didn't know what she meant, and she explained that seeds gave humans special abilities. He wanted to know more, and she told him the seeds would compete for the inheritance of God, which would lead to purgatory on Earth. Yan asked if the inheritance he had received was the god of time and space. She revealed that God disappeared after repairing time and space and realized SP weren't enough to maintain the balance of time and space. Rabbit Girl told him Lu had a seed parasite, which allowed him to suck one's luck through a handshake. Suddenly, he got a phone call from his dad. His dad informed him that they were home and asked when he was coming. He then informed them he would arrive soon. A few moments later, Yan arrived home, and his dad wondered why he had a rabbit. He told him it was a stray, and he decided to bring it home. A girl grabbed the rabbit, and he was surprised to see his niece since in his past life. This event happened several months ahead. His uncle greeted him, and his mom introduced his uncle, Zhuang, and his niece. Yan acted like he didn't know him and wondered if he came because of his dad's $500 bonus. His uncle asked about the card he came with, and Yan told him it was for his boss. Zhuang was glad his boss trusted him with such a car. His uncle told him he had heard he was close with Nebula, and Yan told him he was just doing his job. After he was done meat-riding Yan, he revealed a project he wanted them to invest in. Yan's dad reminded him of their situation, but Yan's uncle told them the profit was instant. Yan's dad was ready to invest $20,000, but Yan's uncle insisted that he invest $300,000 since he won a bonus. Yan's uncle told Yan to persuade his parents, but Yan told him to give up on it while his rabbit punched his niece. A while later, Zhuang told him the investment was safe, and his dad wondered why he was rude to his uncle. His uncle wondered why he was acting that way when he was showing them a way out. Yan's dad told Zhuang he would think about it. Yan told his dad he wouldn't get back his money if he gave Zhuang. Zhuang revealed that they would remain broke if they didn't utilize the opportunity. Yan asked him some questions about the investment, wanting Zhuang to reveal himself. Zhuang had nothing reasonable to say. Yan then revealed he needed the money to settle his boss for bullying his boss's girlfriend. Zhuang was shocked that he knew that. Suddenly, Zhang's daughter cried out that the rabbit was bullying her. She told her dad she wanted to eat rabbit meat. Zhuang wanted to grab the rabbit, but it scratched him. Yan then advised Zhuang not to mess with the rabbit. Yan told him venting his anger on the rabbit wouldn't stop him from being broke. Zhuang told them they deserved to be poor before leaving with his daughter. Yan's dad didn't expect that from Zhuang, and Yan told him to be careful next time. Meanwhile, at Yuchu's house, Yuchu told her mom she sent $300 to her account. Her mom told her Zhuang used the money to get a car and asked where she got the money. Yuchu told her she met a rich man, and he told her they could live in an apartment rent-free. Her mom was happy with the news and wanted to tell her husband. Yuchu went into her room, and the black entity told her it was a great deal. She recalled how she was able to use the black entity to collect money from an innocent guy. The black entity asked if she wanted to continue, and she was game. The next morning, Yan was in the Fidelity office with Rabbit Girl. Kong came in and was surprised to see Rabbit Girl. Yan introduced her as his secretary. Kong revealed that someone was offering to buy Madong's company for $100 million. Yan wondered why someone came out of the blue to buy the company. He told Kong he would handle it. Kong informed Yan that there would be a black market auction. Kong didn't have any money but knew the auction would be worth it. The auction piqued Yan's interest, and he decided to go. Later that day, Yan and Rabbit Girl arrived at the location of the auction. They met an old man who asked if they were there for the auction. Yan wondered how he knew, and he told them he could tell from their appearance. The old man decided to lead the way so they don't get deceived. Yan appreciated his help. He took them to the black market, and Yan was surprised that there was somewhere like that. The old man told him the auction was in the evening and asked for $2,000 for his help. The old man was happy to do business with him and left. Rabbit Girl warned Yan that there were a lot of seeds around. Yan told her he wasn't surprised, since the black market was full of people who desire money. She was anxious, wondering why the seeds were hatching faster than expected. Yan spotted some people gathered and joined in. A guy was skeptical of the stone to pick. The guy was reminded that if he lost, he would lose Xiao's property. Yan revealed a skill that allowed him to see treasure at a glance. He found out that the red glowing stone had a ruby. The guy picked the glowing stone, and the entertainer told the people to place their bet. In the black market, people placed their bets, and the entertainer asked if there was anyone who wanted to bet. The guy who picked the stone, Xiao, realized that if he lost, his family was cooked. He realized he was an ungrateful bastard. Suddenly, Yan placed his bet on the Xiao family. The entertainer told him if he lost, he would have to pay 3 million bucks. Yan told him he would have wagered 3 million if not for the small scale of their bet. The entertainer decided they should check the stone, knowing the stones were rigged. Xiao could tell Yan was a noob since he wasn't aware that the stones were tampered with. Yan didn't see any big deal as they went to check the stones. They arrived at the stone dealer to check Xiao's stone. The entertainer told Rabbit Girl not to be hanging around a loser like Yan. She told him to wait and watch. The stone dealer discovered a ruby inside, and the entertainer was shocked. It was a rare ruby, and the entertainer felt it was impossible. Yan asked about the ruby, and Rabbit Girl told him that it was worth more than $1 million. Xiao knew he had hit the jackpot, while the others wondered why they didn't bet on Xiao. Yan told the entertainer to send his money, and the entertainer promised to get back at him. Yan realized with his skill, he could make a lot of money in the black market. Xiao met up with Yan and insisted on taking them to the auction house, and Yan accepted his offer. Xiao revealed that he would auction the ruby later in the night. Yan realized Xiao had to be someone important from the way he was treated. A while later, Yan, Xiao, and Rabbit Girl were in the VIP lounge of the auction house, and Xiao thanked Yan for believing in him. Xiao revealed he could only participate in the auction because of his black card. Yan wondered why, and he revealed that the auction recognized the identity of people and only black card holders could enter and exit at will. Xiao told him that the Xiao family was one of the major forces in the black market. He told Yan that the Lu family gained a foothold in the black market through the help of the Xiao family. Rabbit Girl asked if Lu was the head of the family. Xiao was surprised she knew him. Yan revealed that they met once. Just then, Xiao's ruby was appraised with a starting price of 5 million bucks, then informed the appraiser to reserve a space in the auction. Later, at the auction, a lady in a mask started the auction off with a vase. Xiao knew Yan was interested in the auction, but he told him he came to watch. Xiao realized his ruby was the only thing of interest at the auction. A while later, the vase was sold at 300,000 bucks. Yan noticed the vase was covered in black aura. The masked lady revealed the next item to be auctioned, which was the ruby. She explained the quality of the ruby and started the bid at 5 million bucks. Meanwhile, the entertainer from earlier told Lu the ruby was from the stone Xiao won. Lu told him not to worry, that his old man was interested in it. Lu placed his bid at 60 million bucks. Yan was surprised Lu was participating. The other bidders realized they couldn't compete. Suddenly, Yan placed his bid for 70 million bucks, and Xiao told him he couldn't win against Lu. Lu remembered Yan, and the entertainer told Lu he was the one who bet on Xiao earlier. Lu raised his bid to 80 million bucks. Xiao informed Yan that Lu didn't like to lose, and Yan was glad to hear that. Yan raised his bid to 180 million bucks. In the auction house, Lu was shocked that Yan had so much money even though he looked broke. Lu raised his bid to 300 million bucks, and the entertainer told him they didn't have the money. They continued to raise their bid, and Xiao realized they were offering more than the worth of the ruby. Lu raised his bid to 1.2 billion bucks, and Yan decided to give up. Lu won the bid, but the entertainer wondered where they would get the money from. A while later, Lu made a transfer and was told he only paid 1.2 million bucks. He was informed the Lu family would be expelled from the black market if he didn't pay. Lu asked his seed what was wrong, and it told him Yan restricted him from using his abilities. The seed suggested they get rid of Yan. Lu was informed he had 3 days to pay for the ruby. Meanwhile, at the black market street, Xiao thanked Yan for his help. He told him not to worry since wanted Lu to lose. Xiao had been worried that Lu would take the ruby without making full payments. Yan was surprised to hear that. Xiao told him that no one seemed to notice it. Suddenly, Lu arrived. Lu wondered if Tang never warned Yan about him. Xiao advised Yan to back off, but Yan had balls. Rabbit Girl told Xiao to wait, but realized Lu's seed had a weak aura. Lu tried to punch Yan, but got punched instead. Rabbit Girl wondered what happened, and Lu's seed told him to end Yan quickly. Suddenly, Yan was engulfed in a golden aura and told Lu his seed seemed to be scared of him. A while later, Lu was ready to end Yan, but Yan decided to attack first. He wondered why Luo talked big when he was so trash. Lu's seed was in immense pain, and Luo wondered how Yan did it. Yan didn't understand what he was saying. Lu realized he didn't know much about the seeds and revealed that he got stronger from eating higher-level seed. Yan then kicked him. Lu's seed told him to retreat since it had taken a lot of damage. Rabbit Girl then realized her power had shifted to Yan. Lu retreated but promised to ruin Yan. Xiao tried to understand what was going on, and Yan failed to stop Lu. Yan began to feel the strain of the ability he used. Xiao was worried, hoping he was alright, and Yan told him not to worry. He wanted to meet Rabbit Girl and find out what happened. Unfortunately, she was in her rabbit form. Yan hurriedly explained to Xiao that the rabbit was his. Xiao told him not to worry since he could see things others couldn't. He liked Yan's courage and hoped he could work with him in the future. Yan told him he was a businessman and wouldn't have a chance for that. Xiao promised to give him a gift later. Yan gave his business card to him, seeing as he wasn't a bad person. Xiao directed him to the alley that would lead him to town. Yan asked the system the cause of his power boost, but got a weird response. He wondered if the rabbit could speak but knew that was dumb. He decided to figure things out once he got home. 3 days later, Yan fed the rabbit in his room and wondered why she hadn't recovered. After everything that happened in the black market, he felt he should have 12 SP. Suddenly, he got a call from Yao. A few moments later, Yo brought Yan to check out the house he had bought. As they strolled, Yo wished she could buy a villa like his. Suddenly, Yuchu and Fi spotted Yan. He wondered what they were doing together. Fi, perplexed, wondered why he left Yuchu for a younger girl. Yan grabbed Yao and left. Fi tried to figure out why he sold Medong's company. Yan revealed he was afraid the company would bring him bad luck, plus he got 100 million bucks. Yao was surprised that Yan had a company, and he told her he bought a company after winning the lottery. Yo figured Yuchu had been after his money. He warned her to avoid Yuchu and Fei wherever she found them in the future. Yan realized Fi and Yuxu both had seed-like aura and knew it would be a drag. Yo told Yan she had tickets for the amusement park and asked if he wanted to go. He accepted and realized he hadn't gone there before. Later that day, at the amusement park, Yo suggested different rides they would take, and Yan wondered why she was so excited. Yan was given a flyer by someone in a bear costume. Yo informed Yan that there was an air rifle contest where they could win a panda doll, and they headed there. The bear lady drank some water and wondered if she could finish her work. A while later, Yan won the panda doll, and the shop owner wished to never meet him again. Yan asked if she liked it, and she was happy. Suddenly, Yan and Yao spotted some guys ganging up on the bear lady. Yan asked if you knew her, and she revealed that she was 2 grades ahead of her in school. They threw away her flyers and told her to come with them. Yao told them to stop, and Yan pulled her back. At the amusement park, Yan gave his rabbit to Yao. He told the guys to leave the girl or he would call the cops. They wondered what a loser like him was trying to do. He tried to call the cops, but his phone was smashed to the ground. They wondered if he wanted to kick the bucket. They decided to deal with him first. Yao called the cops, and the shopkeeper told her they usually escaped before they arrived. Yan beat them one at a time and wondered why they were so weak. He grabbed the bear lady, and suddenly the cops arrived. Later that night, at the hospital, the cops needed a statement from Yan. Yan asked about Hu, since the 3 human traffickers claimed they were in Hu's territory. The cops told him he was a boss at the entertainment industry, but was suspected of drug trafficking. The cops lacked proof, but the bear lady claimed she had proof. She revealed that stole drugs from Hu's company and had been under surveillance ever since. She concluded that they found out about the missing drugs, which was why they tried to capture her. The cops were grateful for the evidence and promised to protect her. She informed them that she was willing to cooperate as long as they stopped him. Yan admired Quinn, the bear lady, for her courage. He gave her his card in case she was looking for a job, and she wondered who the hell he was. The cops revealed that he saved her life. Yan decided it was time to head home. A while later, Yan was home and wondered if his parents were around. Suddenly, he got a system message that his system was restarting. A few moments later, Yan was taken to another space. Yan spotted some wall writings and tried reading them. Rabbit Girl told him it was the description of the creation of gods, and he could read the text by placing his hands on the wall. Yan found out that the god had faced the seeds, and if one was able to face 10,000, they were worthy of being a god. Rabbit Girl revealed that the seeds could destroy the world. Yan found out there were treasures and wondered why they couldn't take anything. Rabbit Girl told him he was there to receive the first trial of the god. She informed him that his first trial was a mental demon, and only he knew who the enemy was. Yan then asked about the Kanglang's mental method. She revealed it was a technique by the god of creation that could wipe out countless enemies with a single move. Yan felt he would be invisible after learning it and decided to take the first trial. Yan began to hear voices in his head. Yan was told how miserable his life was and that the tragedy of his past life was going to repeat itself. His alter ego informed him that getting revenge was better since his money wouldn't take away his pain. Yan knew that, so he punched alter ego. Meanwhile, Rabbit Girl wondered why Yan took so long. Suddenly, he appeared and wondered if he was going to get a reward. Just then, Yan was given the Kanklag mind method. Later that day, Yan received the Kapklag's mind method and decided to practice it. He wondered if the god was able to take out thousands of enemies with this move and realized how awesome it would be. Rabbit Girl was tired of babysitting him, so they decided to head home. Yan checked his stats and was shocked that all his attributes had increased, and he had more than 2,000 SP. Rabbit Girl assumed it was because he gained an advanced ability and was glad she could finally rest. Just then, he spotted a martial arts book and realized it must be a bonus item. Yan didn't understand anything in the book and thought it was useless. Suddenly, he recalled Tong was obsessed with martial arts and thought he might be interested in the book. Meanwhile, Rabbit Girl was chatting with God and requested for her name to be changed. She got pissed with the name suggestions, but then God told her it would be the last time they would see each other. A few moments later, she noticed the will of God had disappeared. The next morning, in Tong's living room, Tong asked about Rabbit Girl, and he told her she was busy. Yan wondered why she didn't appear. Yan was lost in thought, but then told Tong he had a gift to strengthen the cooperation between Tong and Nebula. He gave Tong the martial arts book, and Tong was happy with the gift. Later, Yan was glad Tong liked the gift and was asked if he practiced martial arts, since he fought well in the investment meeting. Yan claimed he was still a noob, but Yan didn't believe him and decided to test him out. At the Tong's family backyard, Tong told Yan not to hold back. Yan felt it was an honor to face Tong since he had just learned martial arts. Tong went for a punch and Yan blocked it. He grabbed Tong and tossed him aside. Yan complimented Tong's skills, and Tong said the same to Yan. A while later, Yan asked if Tong wanted to continue, but Tong was done since Yan's skills far surpassed his. Tong was finally ready to finalize the agreement between the Tong family and Nebula. A few hours later, Yan was in Nebula and was surprised Zhang was still working. Yan gave him some documents. Zhang reviewed it and was pleased the Tong family made an agreement with Nebula. Yan asked if there was anything else he needed, and he told him there wasn't. Yan was about to leave, but then Zhang told him they wanted to transfer Nebula to Yan. Yan wondered why they would make that decision, but Zhang believed in him. He revealed that they also needed more space for their projects. Yan informed him that he would handle it and told him to develop smartphones. He was given freedom to move all his offices to Fidelity. Will Yan become unstoppable, or will Yuzu succeed in getting back at Yan? That is it for this video. Leave a thumbs up if you liked the video and subscribe to the channel for similar content. And as always, thanks for watching.